What up, what's happening, everybody? My name is Charles Blades, and this is the Current Gaming Podcast, episode number 7. My name is Charles Blades, and I'm here today with Drew Scheffler. What's up, man?
How we doing?
And David Morgan. How's it going, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay. So today, it's kind of light news. We talked about a lot of stuff last week with the E3 episode, and, well, 2 episodes, really. So it's kind of light on news this week. We're going to be talking about Destiny 2. We're going to be talking about Rockstar a little bit, but first things first, Metal Gear Solid Survive. This, if you don't know, is the multiplayer, like, co-op kind of game that's being done in the Fox engine. It's kind of a spin-off to the Metal Gear franchise ever since Kojima left. Apparently, it got delayed till 2018. Just kind of, and we saw a little bit of it from E3 this week. Kind of wanted to get your guys' take on how you're feeling about this game, what this all means to you. So, David, you want to start it off? Because I know you liked Metal Gear Solid 5, so.
I do. I like the gameplay of it. I didn't like the story, though. So this is, like, perfect for me. Because you can play without the story and you can play with your friends. I bet it's going to suck, though, because Konami's going to fuck it up. But
yeah.
Them delaying it, I think that's kind of a good sign. Because, like, nobody wants it to come out right now. Because nobody that I know is, like, hyped for it. But them delaying it at least is showing some kind of, like, quality control. Maybe they're going to try to make it decent, which would be fine. If it was, like, a 7 out of 10 game I could get on sale and just play for fun, that'd be enough.
Yeah, no, the multiplayer stuff in it, originally I wasn't, like, feeling it, but, like, the more and more I think about it and the kind of, the fuck Konami kind of stuff wears off, I love
Konami.
Yeah, it's still fuck Konami, but, like,
did you hear that they're like blacklisting their ex-employees and they can't use them on their resume?
Yeah, no, did you see, one of the shareholders in Konami is one of, like, Japan has a like a federalized healthcare system, like a single payer system. One of the board members in that is on the federal healthcare board or something like that. I don't 100% could be, but this is the general gist of it. Is one of their board members is on their the healthcare, and they're like trying to stop Kojima Productions, like, devs and stuff like that from getting healthcare through there.
What the fuck?
And it's, like, fucked up. It's, like, the most bitter thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's just evil. They're just evil. They don't even care. I like that they're not trying to damage control.
Yeah, no, I respect that in a certain degree.
We suck. Okay,
yeah, no,
anyways.
But fuck Konami. But just kind of getting removed from that and the fact that you don't want to talk or think about them at all. But, like, it is another, like, game in that Fox engine, which I thought was awesome. And, like, the gameplay of Metal Gear 5 was awesome. This, I don't know how much it's, like, leaning into that. Because the more and more I see of it, more and more it kind of looks like a zombie horde thing, which I kind of am not into. So, I don't know. We shall see. Drew, you don't care at all, do you? You didn't like Metal Gear, so you don't.
No, I mean, I don't think the game looks good. I don't think it's using, like, I think wanting to use mechanics that make Metal Gear Solid good it's not going to translate well into what they've confirmed pretty much from the gameplay of E3 and stuff is, like, horde mode, like waves and waves. So, I mean, all your little Metal Gear, tactics, it's not really going to work here because it's just, shoot or get shot kind of situation.
Yeah, I was hoping it was more of like a kind of like infiltrate things like Far Cry, but instead, like, it looks like they're making it into, like, more of a base building kind of thing, which I'm, like, not into at all.
No.
So, this next story we got here is about Destiny 2 and the Xbox One X, where Bungie did confirm that Destiny 2 is at 30 frames per second on the Xbox One X, which I'm sure David has a lot to say about. So obviously it's uncapped on PC, and then on all consoles it's locked at 30. Kind of, how do you feel about this, David? Do you think, I don't know. Just give me your take on this.
Can you refresh my memory? Is Destiny going to be crossplay? Destiny 2?
No.
I thought I read that it was.
No.
Okay, no. Here's why. Because Xbox One X is going to play with Xbox One. That is the one reason that I could see them keeping it at 30 so that you don't have, like, an inherent advantage. But first of all, who's playing this game that competitively? Like, who is, like, rising through the ranks in the Crucible?
I don't know. I'm sure there's people that play this game for thousands of hours, so I'm sure somebody cares.
Yeah, well, then they can buy an Xbox One X if they care that much about the extra, if I cared super much about, like, enough about Rocket League that I needed the refresh rate on my monitor to be high enough, I would buy it on PC. So there's that line to be drawn. It's really dumb, and I don't know if they're doing it now because the console isn't powerful enough or because they're having the crossplay. And I've read that the CPU in the Xbox One X is not that great.
Yeah, the CPU in the Xbox One X apparently is similar to the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, and that's enough of a bottleneck for it probably not to be even able to run this at 60 FPS. which sucks. And now it just seems like all of those fancy teraflop buzzword E3 statements were just for marketing and not really for actual hardware benchmarks or anything.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is a game because it's probably, I don't know, besides Call of Duty, and is there anything else coming out this fall? I guess Star Wars. I think it'll probably be bigger than Star Wars, honestly. Besides maybe Call of Duty, Destiny 2 is by far the biggest game coming out this year. So if you're releasing a new console this year, I would think at least you would want to show off the technical ability of that console on probably the biggest game. And the fact that they're not doing that kind of just like I feel like it's a bad sign for that, because I don't really just independent of this, I don't really care about frame rate that much. Like I care if it's like below 30, like that's a problem. Yeah. But like between 30 and 60, like it's like I guess I would prefer 60, but it's not the end of the world if it's 30 for me. Like it's not that's not a deal breaker.
Right.
But with your new console, if you're expecting people to pay $500, they should get the best on whatever they want. And if you're not doing this, because it's not like there's exclusives to this console, so the thing you're selling it on is its technical ability. And if that is not up to snuff with PC or whatever's going on, like what the fuck is the point?
You gotta think of those two Microsoft exclusives that they can really.
Yeah, like there's not even that. Those are all on PC too, so there's like literally no exclusives. So like that's what I don't know. It's just Drew. I know you don't care about frame rate either. You're in my camp, so.
Yeah, I don't care about the frame rate. I think that anybody that's like, I get that the Xbox One X is supposed to be this all-powerful system and everything, but when they came out and it's not a new console, it's literally the PS4 Pro, but over on Microsoft's camp.
Xbox, yeah.
You know, and with the CPU being similar to the PS4 Pro and everything, I mean, once we learned it wasn't a new console, I don't know why people would be up in arms about, you know, it being 30 FPS, because I think that's just how it's locked anyways for a lot of games on consoles. You know, like
the argument is why pay $500 for a new console?
No, I would never. I wouldn't recommend anyone pay $500. Go fucking buy the Xbox One S for $200 and it'll run exactly the same.
Yeah, no,
if you don't have a 4K TV, it's gonna look exactly the same. So like.
But then they're selling it like it's really powerful. So if there's nothing to show for it, especially not with a huge launch title, then how can you expect that other games are gonna have?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the PS4 Pro, but to a lesser degree because it's cheaper, I guess. Because like I bought that, there's no reason to buy that. Like David and I have PS4 Pros. Drew has a PS4. Drew is not getting worse games, like point blank. Like
no.
There's not. It's not that big a deal.
Oh, I mean, some things get patched and like do run like.
Yeah, a little better, but it's not
60 FPS now.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, the only reason you had to get a PS4 Pro or you decided to is because your PS4 shit out. So I mean, like if your PS4 was still working fine, I don't know if you would have got one.
No reason right
now. I don't
Yeah.
know, but like mine was starting to like, kind of, it would like download stuff like super slow, and it was like fucking jet engine kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This whole console revision, like I'm fine with it in theory if it's gonna work, but it's not giving anybody besides the 4K feature, which if you look at it, like none of us own a 4K TV. We're all like pretty technically minded. I feel like I literally know one person that owns a 4K TV in my
I know
whole
one
life.
person as well.
So like if that's the main selling point and that's the sticking point you're going with, like there's no benefit for that. I'm cool with the console upgrade theory if there's benefits, but like there hasn't been so far. I haven't seen. But that won't stop people from buying them, I guess probably. So whatever. This next story we got here, we touched on it last week a little bit. But I just wanted to read the quote from the Eurogamer article. I want to credit the interviewer. What was his name?
Jim Ryan.
Fuck. No, Jim Ryan's the guy. Wesley Eaple. He did an interview with the Sony global sales and marketing head Jim Ryan, who he was talking about crossplay in regards to Rocket League and Minecraft. And Jim Ryan's quote was, I want to get this right. Oh man, they don't have the full quote. Contact with people, blah blah. All right, we have to be mindful, and man, that's not the full quote. Hold on, you guys fill time. I gotta find the full quote.
Are you talking about we have a contract with people who go online with us?
Kind of, but no, I want to get the full quote from the Eurogamer article.
All right,
So you guys fill time.
Still fucking bullshit.
So yeah, Sony's not doing crossplay. David or Drew, what do you care? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I would like you to, if you wanted to read the full quote, I'd like you to do that because I'd have something to say about what their response to this was. I don't understand why they want to not do crossplay with other platforms because they're, and you'll read the quote in a second, but like they're trying to protect like children, and they said they have like an agreement with
it's none of
they
that
said.
shit. That's just them covering their ass.
Well,
They
yeah,
just
but then they
really
said
wanna keep
they're
it
trying to
legal.
like they have an agreement, like their answer. I'm saying their answer is bullshit because they want to cover like they said we have an agreement with our community that will protect them from this and that and the kids. And well, here's the problem. All right, we play Rocket League like every week, okay, and the amount of times get called the N word, I get called like a fag. The amount of times I get called offensive terms on Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you protecting me from? Your community's just as vile as any other. Yeah,
They're really harsh. They'll really come. They'll cut deep.
All right, so here it is. It's certainly all right. He asked him, "It's like, why aren't you guys playing ball? Is this a stance that Sony has generally?" He said, "It's certainly not a profound philosophical stance we have against this. We've done it in the past. We're always open to conversations with any developer or publisher who wants to talk about it. Unfortunately, it's a commercial discussion between. Oh no, is this it? Blah blah blah." Okay, so I got the wrong quote. It's like we have to be mindful of our responsibility to our install base. Minecraft, the demographic playing that you know as well as I do is all ages, and it's also very young. We have to contact people who go online with us and look after them, and we have a contract. We have a contract with people who go online with us, and we have to look after them when they're in our PlayStation curated universe. Exposing what in many cases are children to external influences we have no ability to manage or look after is something we have to think very carefully about. And then just without missing a beat, the guy Wesley says it doesn't seem to be a problem for Nintendo. Perhaps a video game company with the most mindfulness in regards to protecting children. And Jim Ryan just flabbergasted says, "Yeah, I guess that's true. We all have to make our own decisions." And just like it's like fuck off.
My favorite part is him saying that Minecraft is full of kids, but they have to be protected from the other kids playing Minecraft. Like
it makes
they're
no
all
sense.
Young probably, but we are good guys Sony, and we're gonna protect your children.
They don't protect us now, so what's it matter?
Yeah, it's so garbage.
It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's so that they can keep their Destiny exclusive content and
or
shit.
whatever game.
Which
Call of
they
Duty.
could still have. Like,
yeah, they could.
Why not
It
just
doesn't
have
make any
PS4
sense.
players like be like, oh, that's a PS4 player. He's got the super mega cannon from Destiny. I get it. He bought it on PS4, but I'm still playing with him because that's fine. Like, that's fine. Okay, we can't jump into their strikes because they're exclusive to Sony. That's okay, but we can still play with them in the Crucible. It's just fucking bullshit. And Psyonix said it's a push of a button away for Rocket League to be cross-platform with everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking.
It's literally This is. So when we talk about how I think, and I think you guys do too, Xbox. It's like, what's the point of owning an Xbox? There's no like really, but like, and then they're doing stuff like Game Pass.
Sony's giving them reasons to own Xbox.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. This is why having multiple consoles is nice. Like, because people can because if it was just Sony, it's like, all right, well, that's just how it is. But it's not. We can see that Microsoft can tangibly do this. It's very easy. So why is it not happening on this platform? It's just.
I'm glad that there's competition. I'm glad that the device is on Sony now. This E3 was really what they need. They need a good kick in the ass to keep their quality going.
Yeah, I don't think they had a terrible E3, but they definitely were the worst out of the three major public or major platform holders, which you can talk about in my hot take that was up this week. Shameless plug. The next story we have is actually a pretty cool one that got talked about this week. This is from IO Interactive's blog. They have gone fully independent. IO Interactive, if you don't know, is the team that did the Hitman games last year, the segmented episodic ones, and they're talking about how they've gone fully independent now, and they have full control of the Hitman IP, which I think is big news, which is totally awesome. Drew, I know you're really hyped for this.
Yeah, I'm just happy for the developers and like the people that worked on the Hitman games being able to continue something that obviously I think we could tell from like the new Hitman and everything, that something that they put a lot of time into, that they're passionate about, because it was one of the best Hitmans that is to this date. In
recent memory, for sure.
Yeah, in recent memory, and I'm excited to see what else they can not crank out, but give us as gamers, because I think that, I mean, hopefully they don't do episodic stuff. Maybe don't do that, but a new Hitman game in 4 or 5 years, maybe less than that, would be pretty awesome. But really, it just boils down to just happy for the people. They don't all have to stop working and start looking again for jobs, and they get to do something that they're already working on, so.
Yeah, David, I know you played Hitman. This, I'm sure, excites you.
Yeah. I'm only worried that the the safety net is gone from under them. They don't have like publisher money, like big publisher money anymore. So
it is worth noting that when they got released from Square Enix, a lot of people did like kind of lose their jobs, but they still have a core team at least.
Yeah,
it might not be as big as before, but yeah.
Yeah, they're the crux is on them really not to fuck it up now and to release a good game. And even if I'm just worried that even if it's good, like a cult hit is a cult hit, it's not gonna sell that much. So the marketing has to be there, and like where do the marketing funds come from? So I don't know. I think it might get picked up. Hopefully some big publisher notices and
I wouldn't be surprised if like a Sony or a Microsoft came in and was like, yo, we're gonna.
That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, no,
or they go like indie and it ends up not being that great.
I don't know. Like you can, like Double Fine has shown you can survive on like a cult audience, kind of. So like, I don't know, releasing kind of smaller games. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do something like that. I don't know. Maybe not necessarily crowdfunding or anything like that. But I don't know. But that's cool that they're. I don't know how. Like, because Square Enix owned the Hitman IP, so I have no idea how they got that. How that all works. Because like Square Enix has used that. Like they have the Hitman mobile games or whatever, so they've used that IP in other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't understand how that works at all. It's just weird that a small studio would control that. But that's cool. Nonetheless.
The only explanation.
The next story we have is another downer. So besides the IO thing, so the crossplay, and then this story, and then there was one other one earlier I can't remember. But I feel like a lot of people started doing some nefarious things this E3 week. Knowing that it would get buried amongst all the other news. I thought that was pretty. From a marketing standpoint, it's genius. But Rockstar is going after modders. For GTA 5, they shut down one of the biggest single-player modding communities. It's called Open4, I guess. I don't really know. I'm not familiar. They also shut down some online ones too, which apparently that was the reason for shutting down Open4 too, was that they didn't want online stuff. But Open4 doesn't do online mods, and they have a very very tight-knit kind of community on there that solely does single-player, doesn't do cheat mods kind of stuff. David, I know you're a big PC thing. I know you didn't play GTA 5 on PC, but no, what is your kind of take on this?
2 words for you: shark cards. That's why they did it. Because these mods allow you to have, even if it's just single player, allow you to have user created content in your single player game that isn't in the base game that you can get for free. And if you have access to things like that, you're less incentivized to go online and buy crazy new vehicles and bullshit that Rockstar is charging you like $10 or $20 for. So I could go on single player and get like a Hummer with like a mounted machine gun for free, or if it's not there, then I have to go online and pay millions and millions of dollars that would take forever to grind, or I could just pay them money and get it on there. So that's why they did it. They're not going to say that, but 300% that's why. And I don't know what this malicious mods shit is. Didn't they say that? You said it was mostly single player mods. I'm sure. Yeah,
Open4 apparently like they're like really legit. Like they've taken as legit measures as they can to make it just only single player stuff.
Why not just go to Take4 or Open4 and be like, hey, just can you bump up the Q quality control a little bit, the QA? Because we don't want people coming in with like auto hack machine guns just shooting everyone in the face. But it sounds like that's what they already do, so that's kind of a bullshit excuse as well. So I have no idea what the fuck they were thinking.
Yeah, no, to be clear, it was Take-Two that did this. Rockstar, on the other hand, last year apparently tweeted out a link to an Open4 mod that they were like. So Rockstar, God. The developer themselves, has promoted this modding community. So like just another layer on top of it.
Haven't they made enough of this?
Like game? They're gonna have to shut it down when Red Dead 2 comes out.
If they want an audience, yeah.
Like that's gonna have to happen. Drew, I don't know. I know you don't care about mods, but what's your whole take on this, Drew?
I mean, if we take the news story, if we were to take it at face value, I can understand like them stepping in and shutting it down, if only for a period of time to figure out where these which ones are malicious mods. But like I don't play on the PC, I don't mod, so I don't know what that community's like. But like David said, I mean, they could be doing it to try and promote themselves as well. I mean, that story will never actually just come out,
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
I mean, Auto 5-page on Steam and see what the reviews are at, because they just keep dropping.
It's like
lifetime reviews for games.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly negative at this point.
No one is happy.
Yeah, it's just the whole GTA Online. Well, I think that mode is fun and stuff like that. I don't get as addicted to it as some people.
14% positive in the last 30 days. Overall, 68%,
Yeah.
which used to be like 70 or 80. So
Yeah. But I don't know, that whole thing. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do when Red Dead comes out next year or the year after, because it could fall back that far. Don't get it twisted. But I'm gonna how they're gonna moonlight that community and shut it down, because they have to, like, in order to get a community for Red Dead Online. So
I don't want that though, because then that's going to mean Red Dead falls into the same.
Yeah, that's 100% gonna happen.
Buy Splatoon cards.
100% Splatoon.
Splatoon. I got Splatoon on the mind. Splatoon fucking saloon cards.
Yeah.
Get your fucking $10 in-game cash so you can buy a house. Like, fuck off. I hate that.
It's gonna be interesting nonetheless. This next story we have here is about The Witcher 3 and CD Projekt Red talking about how they're doing it Xbox One and PS4 or Xbox One X. I'm gonna keep fucking that up. I fucked it up like 3 times today.
Actually, streamer, it's Projekt Red, but
no, it's not. I'm not Polish. So it's for the Xbox One X and PS4. They're gonna or PS4 Pro. They're gonna have patches. Guess improving some stuff about it. They've already said they weren't gonna do this, and now they're kind of not going back. Like, I mean, they are going back on what they said, but it's not like in an evil sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they didn't promise something and then take it away.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. Will this make you jump back into Witcher 3, David? Because I know you jumped back a few times.
Yes, I've been thinking about playing New Game Plus for a long time, and since there's kind of like gaming has kind of slowed down, like with the releases a little bit the last few months, I've kind of been like, what do I want to play right now?
Yeah.
I feel like The Witcher 3 is like the perfect like just kill time game. So yeah, regardless of the improvements, it's like the perfect incentive for me to go New Game Plus or something and really grind it out.
Yeah, no, them keeping the support up for this game's awesome. They're just it can't be said enough how good a developer CD Projekt Red is, I guess.
Impeccable.
David or Drew, this is like the 3rd time I've come to you and just like, I know you don't care about this because you don't have a PS4 Pro. So yeah, and you didn't like The Witcher, so like it's like on both fronts you're just like this story.
You didn't like The Witcher?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go as far as I didn't like The Witcher. I think that
you just didn't get invested in it, I guess.
I didn't get invested, and at the time that it came out, I was probably playing something else, and then it got to the point where I was playing something else to the point where something else that I wanted to play more than The Witcher came out.
Yeah.
And like I own it. I bought I bought it on launch day. I bought the season pass and everything. Like I have all the content. It's something I really do want to go to. It's like trying to find time for a game that, you know, I've been told I would put 100 hours into. So it's like, you know, I just beat like Shadow of Mordor again yesterday, and that game took me 15 hours. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the support that they're giving, even though I don't own a PS4 Pro. Like you said, David, it kind of gives you, even though it's a great game and you'd go back regardless, like gives you another reason to kind of go back and check it out and see like what enhancements they've made to it. Yeah, the only thing that like my takeaway is like, because they had said that they wanted to fully focus on Cyberpunk and Gwent before like adding the patch would take too much time. So that's just a little bit concerning, just kind of how much further, because we didn't see anything about Cyberpunk 2077. So it's like, now that you found time, like, did you kind of like internally push that game back even further? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like the only kind of like worrying thing for me, because I'd like to see them bring out another game.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Cyberpunk 2077 coming to you in 2020. This next story we have here, this is the last story. It's again about a game Drew doesn't play. Is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is adding a bunch of new updates. They're adding, you can jump over walls, you can vault over different things, and also they're making a mod that had already been playable into a full-fledged thing. This isn't coming anytime soon, but zombie-controlled or player-controlled zombies, zombie-controlled players are coming to, and I guess that's going to be a whole new mode. Maybe when the game launches on console next year. And I just kind of I wanted to get that out there, David. I'm sure this sounds cool. We want to jump over things.
It's great. Oh yeah, I've died like 3 times to not being able to vault over chest-high walls.
But I just want to. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh no, you're fine. I find myself wanting to play the game a lot, and sometimes like my friends aren't there or stand me up like you did 2 days ago, and so I don't have anybody to play with, and so I don't want to jump into a solo game and like be really stressed out for an hour.
Yeah.
Like 'cause it's fucking stressful and it's scary, and I jump a lot. But zombie mode like is the perfect just like relax, run around as a zombie or like a person and just
Yeah.
fuck around and no stress basically. I say that now, but like we'll see.
Yeah.
But that seems like a really fun game mode to just hop in and mess around with for a couple hours
Yeah, for sure.
alone. So that'd be good.
Yeah, no, but I did want to take this time to talk about the game of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds we had the other day, David. Where we made it to 35th at a, or no, was it 35th?
Not great.
We didn't do that great, but we would have done better if
I got 7 kills.
so David and I had a great hideout in the wilderness, and the circle kept closing around us. It was perfect. We were getting great circles every time, bang bang bang, and then we killed 2 people that had come up to our hideout. Well, David killed them. I was playing lookout. I
You were doing a good spotter. Yeah, it was good.
But David killed them, and then about 5 minutes after he killed them, he was like, "You should go loot their bodies." And I'm like, "You're right, man. That's totally what I should do." He sent me out there as bait, man. He sent me out there to go get killed, which is what I did. I get to their bodies, pick all their stuff up. As I'm walking back in, I get shot immediately. And David's like, "All right,
now."
didn't
fucking freak out and like throw your mouse across the room and look into the ground somehow.
David's like, "All right, now I know where they are. I wasted my fucking bait on them. I can kill him." He kills like 2 more people, and then I just want to take.
I made it pretty far. I made it to the last couple circles.
Yeah, it was fun time. But again, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is so excited for that game to come to console. Because I think we'll play it a lot more on there.
Yeah, with a friend. That'll be good.
Yeah, so that is it for the news this week. Short news, like I said at the beginning of the week.
People doing shitty things.
Yeah. But the next segment we're gonna talk about is what are we playing? I'm gonna go to Drew first because Drew, you haven't been talking a bunch because we've been doing news stories that don't relate to you so much. So what do you got?
Doing all these PC and new fandangled consoles I don't know much about.
Been talking about fucking Excel spreadsheets and shit.
Yeah.
What do you got going?
So well, hang on. I'll do this first. So I got ARMS yesterday when it launched. Another one of our friends got ARMS as well.
Aaron, who you can check out in the Let's Play that just went live yesterday, which is about Towerfall.
Or was that today?
It's yesterday when this goes up. You gotta come to the time machine with me, Drew.
I'm not very good at this.
You gotta
anyway, so ARMS is pretty sweet. I played through like the Grand Prix and everything, and I was just fucking around on that and played as the characters I didn't get a chance to because I didn't play the second Test Punch. So I played as Twin Tail, Bite and Bark, and Kid Cobra, all of which are pretty good. I enjoyed playing as all 3 of them. And then I went online and played with Aaron for a little bit. He kicked my ass, which, I wasn't like upset by or anything. I was surprised because he didn't play the Test Punch very much. Like, he had a pretty good grasp on the game.
And he's bad at games, so like that's another thing.
I didn't say that. That's you. But yeah, we had a good time. There's a little I don't know, just little kind of things that the game does that just kind of makes you notice some and stuff, like when you're fighting and everything, and like the last Grand Prix fight, everybody's wearing like shirts for the teams or like your character, and I didn't notice that in the Test Punch, so I really wasn't paying attention. But so I was playing that. I'll probably play some more this weekend. Or like this week, but then
I wanted to ask you a question about it. Actually, is the online set up like the Test Punch, where you click online and then it just gives you whatever game type, or how does it work?
Okay, so you have local, right? So you have local multiplayer. You have friend multiplayer, which is what I did with Aaron, where you can create a lobby with friends, similar to Mario Kart, and then you can pick what like game modes you want to appear, so it can be like the skill punch, the skill shot thing, basketball, volleyball, headlock, who is like a hidden thing. So that's for like friend multiplayer. And the only thing, just note for anyone that picks up ARMS, you have to play through the Grand Prix and beat it at rank 4 in order to play online competitively.
Okay.
And at that point, I haven't done that yet because like I said, I was just messing around, so I did it on like rank 2, and so I didn't get a chance to play competitively yet, so I don't really know what they're doing with that. But I would assume if it's competitive that they should really just do like
straight fighting,
1-on-1 fights or 2-on-2 fights. They shouldn't go and like doing volleyball and all that stuff. They should just do strictly fighting. But I mean, I can let you. I can talk about it next week once I get that taken care of.
I was just curious how that all works. I knew in the like I was like That was one of my biggest criticism of the test punch, which I assumed was just because it was in the test punch, was that I didn't get to pick what mode I was going to play. So
yeah, well, with friends, which is if you guys pick it up or anything, which is how we would probably play it a lot, you do get to pick it. And Aaron and I played for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we didn't get disconnected once, so that's kind of nice to see. You get disconnected quite a bit on Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah.
And then the other game I was playing last week, that I won the E3 predictions. So David was kind enough to, for his half, he gifted me a Monolith on Steam, which I had no idea about because I don't really play too many games on the PC and everything. But absolutely love the game, David. Great recommendation.
Oh, I'm glad.
If you're a fan of Binding of Isaac, it's very similar to that in terms of like just the random dungeons, random bosses, random pickups. That's the roguelike. I think that's correct.
Yeah, that's right. It's a roguelike.
But you're a spaceship, and it seems like you just keep going further and further, like a Descent. Really fun game, and I've been enjoying playing it pretty much. Hoping to do a Let's Play here soon of that.
Sweet.
But yeah, those are the two games I've really been excited to talk about this week. Nothing. I mean, I've played other things, but just those two.
But you played Shadow Mordor, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about Shadow Mordor.
I did play Shadow of Mordor.
I did. I played. This is my second time beating it. And mind you, the only reason I beat it again was because I didn't realize that the Game of the Year edition and the regular edition of the game had separate trophies. Like they're like the same exact trophies, but like
separate.
They're considered separate lists.
Yeah.
So I played it one time just trying to fuck around in it, and like I got one trophy for doing like one kill or something. I was like, well, that's really weird because I got like 85% of the trophies the first time I played this, and I looked and I was like, what the fuck? And I looked and the other one's on there too. So that was a few months back, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going back through it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get Shadow of War at launch, probably won't, but like I went back through it and played it, everything. I enjoyed it. I remembered why I liked it, and then I also remembered why I fucking hated the ending. It's a QTE that lasts about 20 seconds, and it's like you lead up to this. I was telling you about this last night, CJ. That it leads up to like this huge moment where you get to fight the guy that kind of like killed your family, and it's like a 20-second QTE, and then credits roll, and it's like, all right, I guess I spent
gaming, everybody.
Yeah, so
that was honestly that's the only negative gripe I have about what's that game, Arkham Asylum, is like that game is so fantastic in the way you fight, the way they design all the boss encounters in that game, until you just fight at the end. The Joker just takes like a shit ton of steroids and he's huge, and you just fight the Joker like in like a brawl, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is not this character at all. I'm like, why did you do this? But yeah, that's a bummer. But yeah, David, what have you been playing, man?
Fuck off, cat. I have also been playing Monolith. I got that game a couple weeks ago, and I really wanted to support the devs, so I got it for Drew, and it was the perfect price for the gift for him winning E3. I like it a lot too. It's like a twin-stick shoot-'em-up roguelite. I played a lot of roguelites. It's one of the better ones I've played, especially just coming from an indie self-published dev. I think it's just one or two guys. I don't really know, honestly. Very polished, very fun. Graphics are great. I like to use scan lines on it. Like
I do too.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I usually hate those, but for that it just works. I've also played the first Kingdom Hearts game because I got the collection on PS4, and I wanted to catch up before 3 comes out in 20 years. I have plenty of time.
Yeah.
So I've been playing through my girlfriend. She's been.
You can give that to your grandkid later on, and he can catch up before 3 comes out.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Great. Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But we wanted to get through it because it's honestly a fucking chore to play. It's a bad game that I inexplicably enjoyed. So we were using a guide just to kind of like, come on, fuck off. And it still took me like 20 hours to beat it. The last boss was... Are you okay, dude? My cat is like caught in the blinds. Okay, he's fine. The last boss was one of the worst things I've ever done in video games. It was the worst. I just wanted to punch myself in the face. Basically, it's like a big guy that's like fused with a ship, and he swings his big sword around and like all the time, and you can't hit him. Hitboxes are terrible. There's homing missiles. It was just a fucking bad time. So when it was over, I was extremely relieved, and I jumped right into 2, which is a lot better to play. Yeah. So I'm still working through those.
Yeah, Drew, you play those, right? Is that? Oh no. All right. Well, fuck off.
I own it. I think I talked about playing it, but you know, I have not played it. it's not like there's any rush. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I have the
yeah.
1.5, 2.5, 2.8. I could play them tomorrow. I could play them in a year or 3, and I'd be all right. So
You got time. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I've been playing. I'm literally at the very end. I was gonna finish it today, and then I got caught up. All right, I got caught up yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, the year of our Lord, and it was
Oh, yeah,
also
happy birthday.
it was also Kendrick Lamar's birthday. If we want to talk about people that actually matter, whose birthday it was yesterday. But so we were coming home, and Drew and I went to a soccer game. Coming home with my girlfriend. We're having a good old time. I'm like, let's get something to eat. And we made the fatal mistake of going to a Midwestern restaurant chain. I don't know if it's just in the Midwest, I guess. We went to a Steak and Shake and proceeded to wait there at Steak and Shake without getting any service for an hour and a half.
Jesus.
Which
Why'd
really
you
put a
say
damper
that?
on my birthday. I'm not going to lie. So shout out to, fuck Steak and Shake. And fuck everybody that works at Steak and Shake. Is what I would like to go out and say.
Fair.
I'm gonna title this episode "Fuck Steak and Shake."
I mean, I want to tell you the same thing I told you yesterday. You always they always give like subpar service.
This
and
is
then,
very true.
So like you going there, it's not like you're like, wow, they're probably gonna
Why are
greet
you
me within 30
surprised?
seconds, and
But it's just
my food's
bullshit.
gonna be
Why?
quick, and it's gonna be extra warm, and it's gonna be everything I asked for. I'm not gonna have to ask for anything else. Like no, every time you go to Steak and Shake, it's like the same shit. So
I don't know. They just Jesus Christ. I was gonna finish Prey last night, but decided to hang out and Steak and Shake for an hour and a half. But yeah, I'm like 95% of the way. I'm literally on the last mission of Prey.
Cool.
According to the guide I've been following for all the neuromods and stuff.
Scrub.
And I'm just getting like I'm not using it to like do the maze stuff. I'm not going out of my way to fucking do every side quest, and they don't give me neuromods. I'm like fuck off. I don't care. But that game's fucking awesome. The game is like really good. That game is like, it does really good things. It is super. It's been compared to BioShock and System Shock a bunch, and like all those comparisons are completely apt. It's in like a league, like in that class of games. Like I would say, the way it does its upgrades and the powers you get. Although I'm not, I understand the alien powers are kind of the bigger selling point of that game. I've just been doing the human powers for the most part. And I was telling Drew this the other day. I was going through, so I'm like 95% of the way through the game. I've never got an alien power yet. And I was like, I wonder if there's a trophy for this. I bet there is. And there's a trophy for getting only alien powers. And then there's a trophy for getting both, only in 2 playthroughs, getting all human and all, but there's not one for getting just all human. And I'm like, go fuck yourself, game. Like, that pissed me off, but whatever. But aside from the segments where you're floating around outside of the ship, or in the guts and stuff like that, where it's super disorienting and like it kind of takes away your motion. It kind of takes away a lot of what makes the game like interesting, like finding different like areas or like kind of side stories and stuff like that. Because like one of the my favorite parts of the game is like finding the audio logs, and like they do audio logs well, where you can just you press the button and it plays. You can walk around, go through the menus and everything like that. As opposed to some games where you're stuck there on a screen. That's really fucking annoying. Horizon. And it does the upgrading, and the skill trees are always very rewarding. The game itself, the atmosphere it has from beginning to end, even now when I'm super powered up, I'm still like terrified of fighting phantoms and all kinds of things. Like last night I got to a portion where there's I kind of cheesed it, but the whole segment, it's like a 3-minute thing where you have to hide from this enemy called the Nightmare, which you like, it's literally I've encountered it one time. It's the only time you encounter it in the game, I think. And it's very tense, very, very scary. And I think the game just does a fantastic job. It does have some technical issues on PS4 for my part, and my biggest gripe with it, aside from the outer space stuff, is the loading times are like really bad. Like too much so in a game where you're loading this much, because every time you go in and out of like a big area, it has to load, and like you're backtracking constantly to do like side quests and stuff like that, and it's just it becomes a problem at a certain point. But that game's fantastic. I highly recommend that game. I know David, you weren't grabbed by it, like you didn't.
I'm gonna go back
like
and
it.
play it probably all the way through again once it's patched up on PS4.
Yeah, I would.
Like
There's nothing wrong with that. But it's very good. I highly recommend that game.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other game I recommend, because we're moving on to the next segment, which is the current recommends, where we recommend a game we like, or how did you describe it, Drew?
Just a game that we think people should play. Maybe it was overlooked, or something that was like just stood out to us.
Yeah. It is my turn this week, and I'm going to talk about a game which just got a sequel, which is Emily is Away. It was a free. It wasn't free to play, but it was like pay what you want thing made by one guy. And basically, the crux of the game is you're on AOL Instant Messenger, but it's not called AOL Instant Messenger. It's called something like that. And it has all the features that come equipped with that. And basically, you're just going through like a late high school, early college relationship between him and a girl named Emily, and it does a really good job of like, I grew up like most of my exchanges with girls in high school were on Facebook, or not at all because I was lonely, and but it does a great job of explaining a relationship and how conversations go when you're like flirting around with a girl on like an instant messaging app and stuff like that. And I think it's such a good game. It just got a sequel, Emily is Away 2, which is also fantastic. I just played that. So yeah, I highly recommend that game. Yeah, but that brings us to topic of the week, which this week, again, we're really light on news, so nothing really timely going back. So we're going to kind of go back to E3. And I want to talk about games that kind of we saw at E3. We got a better look at E3 from earlier stuff that we might have saw about them, and they kind of changed our tune on it a little bit. And I think we all have one game in particular that we wanted to talk about. Drew, if you want to start this off.
Yeah. So, I mean, my biggest takeaway. I mean, I obviously we saw a bunch of games and everything, things we knew about and like stuff like that. The biggest one that was like to me, just kind of stood out as far as changing the idea of what the game was, like what we thought it was Days Gone. And I know that it takes from a lot of other games and everything, but like the last E3 when we saw it, it was just like, look how many zombies we can throw on the screen, and it like didn't really give you any sort of like idea of what the game was besides just shooting and killing the zombies and everything. I'm excited that this E3 they were able to kind of open a couple more doors for us and let us see like what else the game is going to be offering, whether it be through like the weather, the creative gameplay, the way to like kind of go about solving a bunch of different problems in different ways based on the weather, based on what you see. Sometimes enemies or like NPC enemies and stuff aren't going to be there. I mean that to me makes the game kind of like more exciting, because more dynamic and more exciting to me. Like, yeah, I get that we've had a lot of zombie games and everything, and I mean, we're still getting more, obviously, and it's probably not going to stop for a while. But like, I don't know, I enjoy games that allow me to kind of explore and then figure out how I want to tackle a problem. It definitely, as we learn more, as long as it's not like a handholdy game where it shows you how to do everything all at once and it's a pain in the ass tutorial or whatever, but like just being able to figure out the problems on my own, similar to how like what I heard like Prey was like and everything. It's just kind of figured out. Yeah, I mean, we other than the zombies and the creative gameplay, we don't know much more, and it would be nice to get some more insight on the game sooner than later. I guess I'd just say we just had E3, so it wouldn't really matter. Yeah, I was just surprised. Yeah, probably some PSX. It was just nice to see that there's more to the game than what they originally had given us.
Just a billion zombies on screen.
Yeah, which I mean, I've said it many times. I play almost everything, so I would have played it regardless. But like now, you're kind of giving me a reason to like choose you over some other things that might be coming out. Because if you do the story well, and Sony developers tend to do pretty well when it comes to story, if you flesh out the story and everything, I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, so. No, that game honestly, yeah, for me too. Same kind of boat. I thought it really stepped up from what they showed last year about it, where it kind of it doesn't look as like just spray and pray kind of against zombies as it might have.
I thought it was real quick. I'm sorry. I just thought it was cool because they talked about how like what they showed in the first like gameplay demo we got, or like the first gameplay they showed, that happening. Yeah, that was planned, but like that horde that came through of freakers, which is a terrible name, change that. But the horde of freakers that came through, that can happen at any point. So that's like kind of an interesting, like they said, that's like a dynamic thing that happens randomly. And if it's like actually random, I mean that throws a huge fucking curveball in like whatever fucking game plan you have going on. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool.
Yep. I agree. David and Kat, what game from E3 kind of changed your mind on what was going on?
Well, I was like everybody else, and I thought that Mario X Rabbids looked really stupid and bad. I thought it was gonna be like a mini game collection or something, or like a platformer with shooting elements or some bullshit, boring crap like that. But it's XCOM,
Hmm.
so that's cool, and I think everybody thinks that it's pretty cool, and it looks really fun. And Rabbids are still bad, and basically just France's minions, but I think it has a lot of potential, and I think that the polish and the graphics look really nice. So I'm excited to play that game, and I'm shocked that they managed to make something. I mean, not 100% original, but they did something cool with the Mario IP
Unique with it.
that Nintendo never would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it almost is like worth. I'm glad that they're outsourcing their IPs. Nintendo is.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway. While I may hate the Rabbids, it's cool that they're not being as protective with their IPs and maybe letting some other third parties get involved in that.
Yep.
For me, I wanted to talk a little bit about Nidhogg 2, which we saw. It was at a show earlier, like maybe last year or this year. I can't remember. It was either late last year or early this year. We saw our first hints of it. It's got a whole new different art style, which at first I was like pretty taken aback by, because I think the art style for the first Nidhogg, it's super simple and minimalistic, and I think it looks really cool, and it just allows you to focus on the fun and like gameplay of that game. Whereas this art style, it looks kind of like, I don't know, it's a little weird. But the more and more I've seen it played, and I saw it played a bunch, I watched a few streams of it for E3. It's grown on me, the art style for sure, and then specifically the gameplay and the way they're varying that up. Where like not every time you respond with a sword, but they also they have different like sword lengths, and they also have like bombs and stuff like that, which are getting more invested in the game. I think it's really taking that game and iterating on it in a really cool way that still keeps it. The cliche thing is easy to play, or what is it? Easy to start, hard to master. Yeah, that cliche term. It's still keeping that kind of like fun where anybody can jump in and play a game at a party or whatever. But like if you want to get good at it, I think it's kind of doing that stuff. On the other note, the game, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out here, that I did think looked pretty cool, and then coming out of E3, I'm like not like sold on, was Life is Strange, just simply due to the fact that the actress is not Ashley Birch anymore. Like that's
She got scabbed.
Yeah, like what the fuck? That's like
That's
such
what
bullshit.
I thought was gonna happen. Why didn't all the scabs just come in and take all the jobs?
Like that, like legitimately, like I'm palpably less excited for that game now that she's not playing fucking Chloe. It was like literally the best character in that game.
Strike is working.
It's just like I'm not into that at all. And I hope Square Enix sees us less sales because of it. To be totally honest, because like
they probably will.
Like fuck, like what the fuck? That's like fuck that. And also, you guys want to hear the real hot take, which isn't in the hot take TM show that I do, is I didn't think Mario Odyssey demoed that well from everything I saw from it. Like I was not sold on Mario Odyssey. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Everybody else is, so
that's the word, but like I don't know, just something about it. Like it was not like
looks fucking awesome. What are you talking
looks
about?
Awesome.
I don't
fucking high.
Okay,
I know one other person that's like you on the internet. It's like Nintendo's conference sucked.
I mean, I didn't think Nintendo's conference sucked. I thought they're showing Mario at the conference sucked. It's just all the gameplay.
Totally a new mechanic that changes the whole game. Like that's what everyone wanted, was a fresh take on exploratory Mario games, and that's what we're getting.
I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I hope when it comes out, I'll get it. I'll love it. But
98
like,
on Metacritic.
What exactly didn't you like about it?
Just especially in New Donk City. Like I know the criticism everybody was talking about was like, oh, it's weird to see Mario with like real life people and stuff like that.
Point.
Huh? Well, but no, getting away from that, I just thought that city looked like really barren and empty, and like it didn't like.
Oh my god! You want to see barren and empty? Go look at fucking Ukulele gameplay.
I didn't think Ukulele looked good either. I'm not.
This looks much better than that, and people like that game. So like.
I mean, that game didn't do that well either, to be totally honest.
Well.
So besides New Donk City,
I thought the Mexican level looked cool. That level looked cool, but specifically because those were the two levels that showed.
I'm just trying to like think of like it had cars and people and props and.
I don't know, but when
buildings
you
and
get all the way,
platforms.
because like a lot of the stuff and a lot of the coins and stars, I'm assuming, are going to be high up on the like Empire State Building or whatever they're called. It's not
No.
like a lot of that.
Did you watch the gameplay?
Yeah,
It's
I watched a bunch of gameplay from it, and like
okay.
like when they would climb up on the buildings, it was like you could see like the ring around the city of fog
Yeah.
that like it shows where it's blocking off, and like I didn't think a lot of the
It's not an
platform.
open world game.
Well, no, a lot of the platforming and the way people were getting up there, it was just like timing, like really rudimentary timing stuff where you just flip on a fucking.
So let me ask you this
on a
question:
swing.
You ever played Mario 64?
Yes, I have played Mario 60.
You
It's
ever
not
played?
all right.
I'm just asking because like it's literally those games, but with the like David said a new mechanic that like brings new life into the Mario platformer.
I thought the hap stuff was cool. Don't get me wrong. And again, I'm not. I was just underwhelmed by comparatively to the rest of the gaming landscape by how Mario's Odyssey looked. That was just
fair,
mine.
but you're wrong. So I hope you
That's
come
fair.
around. on that.
I mean, like the New Donk City thing, like the fog and the distance. That's one thing, but you saw the gameplay from like the desert, and then there was another one. I don't know if you saw. It was like
Yeah,
the
the Mexican
woodlands.
one looked great.
It's a desert. We don't have to call it Mexican.
Oh, I thought it was.
land. It's
I
a
mean,
desert.
there's like
Racist.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. I want to be clear. not at all.
No, it's.
But then like
it's
there's
called
a
Sand Kingdom.
woodlands one which is cool, and they're like explaining because whoever was playing it, they're asking, they're like, okay, so like why does it look like a dome around us? And they're like, oh well, you know, like you'll find out because like the bosses are like wedding planners, and they said so like this woodlands is where they're growing the flowers for the wedding, and it's a greenhouse. So like
Everything relates back to the wedding.
everything relates back, and I think, I mean, I'm sure you'll play it, and I think you'll be very surprised at how much you enjoy it.
I really hope that's the case. Again,
I
I don't
do
want
too.
this game to be bad.
This game doesn't seem like it demos that well because they've said a million times like it's got a million secrets and we can't show you like very much at all right now. So just please like understand. So like it's like trying to demo Zelda. Like oh, there's like one cool thing that happens every like 5 minutes, but as a whole, the game is like expansive and huge and amazing. So I feel like this is gonna be the same. Every like few minutes, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's awesome. Like I didn't see that over there.
Plus, Captain Toad was in the demo. Anybody see that?
Yeah.
Let's see that. And I think the kingdoms all look cool, except it's not called New Donk City. It's called Metro Kingdom. I don't like that. I wish it was just called New Donk City.
Ooh, it should be just called New Donk.
Because New Donk City is a great. And
What is
who's
what
the
it's
mayor?
Pauline.
Yeah,
Pauline.
she's the mayor. That was cool. But again, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it looks terrible. I'm just not as hyped for it as everyone else. I guess.
That's you're in the right place. That's where you should be.
But yeah, that is our show. This has been the Current Gaming Podcast, episode 7. I was joined by Drew Scheffler and David Morgan, which I already talked about. Later this week, we have cool content coming with Let's Play about retro games from Drew. And I'm gonna be
Really
doing
sell it.
I'm doing a hot take again. It's gonna be about stuff that you'll see when it comes out. I just did another one about E3 stuff that already happened. Yeah. Drew, where can I'm Charles Tula on Twitter. Drew, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Pops, and you can catch the Current Goes Retro every Wednesday. And this week we will be playing Super Mario World.
Cool. David, where can we find you?
My guy Dave on Twitter, and I am D_Morg on Instagram.
All right, cool. Yeah, so that's it for this week. It's been fun, and fuck Steak and Shake.